Hello, weary traveler. I'm not sure what strange magic must have brought you here, but you have stepped into a realm of my creation. A sprawling city filled with danger and glory, and most importantly, lots of gold. I call it Isla Numus. Who am I, you might ask? The name is Jajim, and I'm the patron deity of gambling. Long story short, this group of idiots, or as you may call them, heroes, made a bet with me that they had what it took to make a vast trove of gold, but left some of the key details blank, so I filled them in myself. I sent them to this pocket dimension, into the city I had created with brand new bodies they'd have to attune to. Can these fools pass my test, or will they be trapped here forever? So, experience my world of trials and tribulations, and join alongside this posse of pitiful people, or as I like to call them, the criminals of Isla Numus.
Alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of Criminals of Isla Numus. We rudely left off with a cliffhanger last time, and we are here to rectify that rudeness. So, but before we do that, let's go around the table and talk about who the heck we are. Dave, you always sit next to me, so just who I go to. Who are you playing?
This time, I'm still going to be playing Maki. And he's still going to be in a bird body.
Right on. He's still Maki, and he's still in a bird body. That's the easy, straightforward summary.
Yep, and he's probably going to do some magic.
Nice. You left off having done some magic, didn't you? You guys were all ready at the race?
Yep, Maki's starting to figure out that this body's in now. It seems to have different magical abilities than his old body.
Yes. Fantastic. So we'll see that kind of stuff come into play, which will be exciting. Jumping over to Quinn, a.k.a. Feather McGregor, a.k.a. Little Sauce.
Oh yeah, we're in the race here, getting ready to go. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Who are you?
You just said.
I know I just said who you are, but like give me a little bit more detail.
Who?
Give us a fun fact.
Inside.
I made sauce, and then I didn't make sauce anymore.
You're a Kenku.
That too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Dave, you're
Kenku?
a Kenku as well. Yeah. I don't know. I just like to help people put a name to the voice and the character.
Sure.
All right, Jackson.
I'm Jack. I play Dez, who was a Trident fighter turned Kenku Ranger.
You actually go by Jack?
Sometimes.
Wow, I
You
didn't know
feel
that
like
about
it.
you.
Like growing up, it was all Jack. It wasn't until like senior year of high school I started going by Jackson.
Interesting. All right. Anyway, sorry.
And fun fact about Dez is although tridents do not have a singular tail, every now and then when he was a wee lad, he would put both of his feet together and pretend that he had a singular mermaid tail.
I was just going to say, you sound like, was that H2O?
Yeah. If he touches water.
Chloe, no, Chloe. Clear. That's what,
that's what it was.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. He's a merman. Fatty Lumpkins.
My name is Keto, and I am a studly kobold, formerly a nerdy druid. So enjoying this new lease on life and the jock side of things.
There you go.
And we will put that on full display during this race of the Minotaurs.
Are you going to be that guy that takes off all his clothes during the Minotaur? Is that what you mean by full display?
Yeah.
Listen,
There's one every year.
All right.
To be determined.
TBD.
Trust me, there's
He's
no
gonna
drag happening here.
Skipping.
Oh, no. Awesome. And finally, we've got Cameron.
Hi. I'm playing Rorick, formerly a dwarf, now a goblin, who likes to dig, drink coffee, and can definitely read.
The big three that we're all looking for in a character these days. I say, what's your backstory? You say, my backstory? Doesn't matter. I can read.
I can read.
I like coffee.
Oh,
And I dig.
I
And my
dig.
parents definitely loved me.
And
when I
my
was
parents definitely.
That's all you gotta know.
And they're alive.
And I can-
They're alive.
and I-
That's a key thing too.
and I can
And they
def-
still love me. I promise.
I can definitely read.
And I can
definitely
absolutely.
read. 100%. He is literate. Awesome.
Great reader.
I'm Skylar. I'm your DM, and man, it would be awkward if I wasn't literate. Let's jump into another. Oh, sorry. Did you have something, Dave?
Oh, not really. But I was just saying, it'd be impressive if you couldn't read. You'd just be making all this up.
Right off the top of my head.
that would
That's
be
right.
impressive,
That
yeah.
would be pretty cool. Awesome. Well, whatever the case, whether I'm making it up as we go or I've got some stuff pre-planned is TBD as well. And TBD happens now. Welcome back to Criminals of Isla Numus, episode 8. And as we left off, you guys had just gotten into the course. You had just entered the course for the running of the bulls. The announcer, the leader of the ceremonies, he had just given you the full rundown on the rules, and he stood up on the gate or on the roof of the building where they were keeping the Minotaurs. He counted down 3, 2, 1, pulled the lever, and nothing happens. Except people start running.
Yeah.
The doors have not yet opened, but before they were about to open, or as soon as he pulled the lever, you, Rorick, Cameron, you had poured out some oil in front of it and sparked your tinderbox.
Yeah.
Which then shoots down and bursts into flames below the gate's doors. As people start to run away, you mentally count 1.
I just take off immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I
whatever
light
the
the
case.
fire and go.
But you're mentally I'm just saying,
And
you're
dodge
mentally
my
kind of
hole.
counting as you turn to run. 2, 3, 4, 5. All of a sudden you see he pulls a second lever. The gates fly open, and behind the flames you see a group of Minotaur. They all look like they're ready to go and immediately pull back when they see these flames. A little surprised, unexpected. The man up on the rooftop, he doesn't see the Minotaur run out because he's at a kind of an awkward angle, but he would normally see them run out onto the pathway. He peeks over the roof, sees the flames, and he says,
Well, I've never seen that one before, surprisingly. But it's legal. I didn't say you couldn't do it. So, all right, interesting ploy by everybody sometime.
all right. So, as the Minotaur are awkwardly trying to decide what to do, their little fear of the flames is holding them back. The rest of you, these are things that you see. First of all, you see the Eladrin twins, the ones that Maki, you had kind of messed with and tied up the shoelaces of the one. The first one, the one that didn't wear any shoes whatsoever, she immediately jumps onto all fours as soon as the race kind of begins. She jumps onto all fours, and as she kind of does a lunge forward, she shapeshifts into a horse. The other one starts to run, and then all of a sudden, falls face first into the ground. He looks like he was about ready to jump and get onto her back, but unfortunately he just face plants. The horse just keeps going, and he's left there, and he looks up and goes, Sis, wait! Let me see if he's... She does not hear him. He continues to gallop away for quite a ways. He is left there in the dirt, picks himself up. It's frustratingly trying to retie his shoes, looking back nervously, constantly seeing the Minotaurs behind him, just waiting to get past these fires. Additionally, you see 3 hulking individuals, the ones that you guys had noticed before. There's a half-orc, there's a human, and there's a Goliath. All of them massively muscular, almost unnaturally so. They take, as soon as the race starts, they take about 5 to 10 steps forward, immediately turn around, and just turn to face the Minotaurs. They are not here to run the race. They are here to fisticuffs with these freaking monsters. The 2 individuals that you had talked to before, Grizzletooth the Bugbear and Rusty the Duergar. They are off. They're off on their feet. They're running right alongside you guys. Obviously, you can tell that Grizzletooth is a little bit faster because the Duergar has kind of some sturdier legs. But I digress. They're going. Additionally, other people that you see this man. Only one in this entire group that seems to be wearing, well, I'd say maybe there's a couple other. One of the few in this entire group that is wearing not the traditional white with the red scarf. He is instead, bless you, He is instead wearing some golden clerical robes. He has a very clean, perfectly shaped white beard underneath him. And as he runs, he has his hands clasped in some sort of prayer. It looks like he's running and praying at the same time. You see a turtle. He's wearing a purple orange bandana over his head. He is also not wearing the traditional clothes, but you wonder if maybe it's probably because it's really hard to get clothes that fit a turtle, because he's got the big old shell on the back. But whatever the case, he's nimbly leaping in long strides towards down the pathway. You see the air genasi. He is moving at high speeds as he has like air that's shooting past him. It almost looks like he's flying, except you can see that his feet are fully touching the ground. There's a number of other characters that are kind of moving as well. I won't go through all of them, but maybe they'll come up later. You guys, as a group, you've all shot forth and you're running forward down the pathway. You guys rush forward maybe about 2 blocks, and then all of a sudden you come to kind of a wide opening. As you guys come running up to this opening, like I said, it's a wide opening. People kind of spread out a little bit. You see a couple of people that seem to kind of like stand off to the side, whether they're worried or something, you're not 100% sure. It doesn't really matter, because right now you are focused on running this race. Right past this wide opening, there's a narrow passageway. It's an alleyway, let's say that. It's a narrow alleyway, it kind of closes in. Everybody kind of gets pushed together and they're kind of one-to-one. Is there anything anybody would like to do as you guys kind of start moving towards this?
Can I do like a wall jump back and forth this narrow alleyway above
Try to get ahead a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do me an acrobatics check. Or athletics. I think either one kind of works.
They are the same, I believe. So.
Okay, I always appreciate when that's the case, because sometimes it's hard to decide which one, and if they're both the same, then I don't feel as bad.
Wow. Indecisive. Oh, that's a 21.
A 21, holy crap. Okay, so yeah, you leap up and start sort of ninja style bouncing off of this wall. Interestingly enough, only one other person seems to be doing this method, and that is the turtle that I just mentioned before. He too also starts doing a leap off the wall, and you follow close behind him, both of you managing to get your way towards the front of the pack after that maneuver. So congratulations there. Anybody else like to do anything?
Is this alleyway where everyone else has to go?
Yes.
Okay.
So the barriers are kind of pushing you in a very specific path.
Are we all just running through this?
How many people are in front of us, behind us?
Yeah, what's the order here?
You guys, let's see. You guys are probably maybe 3/4 of the way to the back.
Wow.
Oh.
Except for
Where am I?
Dez. You are probably at the back of your group.
Okay, that's fine.
You lit the fire. That was
As we start running through the alleyway, I'm behind them all. I'm going to start. I'm going to pull out a bag when I see this alleyway.
Okay.
And I'm going to start reaching into it and throwing stuff behind me onto the ground.
Okay.
It's my bag of 1,000 ball bearings.
Oh my gosh. All right. Sounds good.
1,000?
1,000 ball bearings. Are you dumping? Are you just constant
I
dripping?
might just be holding the ball bag and open and just running.
Oh boy. All right. People behind you, you start to hear the sound of people going, ooh, oh gosh, ooh, whoa. And sure enough, as you look behind you, almost everybody that was behind your group has all slipped and fallen thanks to the ball bearings. And they're now picking themselves off the ground, but they have fallen behind, and to top it off, that means that the Minotaurs have caught up slightly closer to them as opposed to the rest of you.
And the ball bearings are for the Minotaurs. Hey,
yes.
did any Minotaur, happen to step in a hole and twist an ankle?
Or two.
You don't know.
Oh, well.
Because you guys have already left before you would see them even come out.
They would have had to shoot it.
Yeah, it's just, oh, my leg.
Sorry, they're doing the Peter Griffin, like...
Someone just comes up with a crossbow, just shoot.
All right, as you guys all pass through this narrow alleyway, as you guys kind of run another couple of blocks forward. You come around a corner to a big, wide open area. You can actually see a ton of people past the barrier that are all watching this. They're all cheering, screaming. Some of them are booing certain people as they run by. Whatever the case.
You pointed at me. What did I do?
You're just straight ahead of the table with me. You're booing you especially, Des. No, actually, they're all cheering, laughing excitedly. You also hear a number of people go, "Look out! Look out!" And sure enough, just ahead of you, you see this massive construction hole. There's some signage around it that says, "Caution! Hole!" And it's just pointing down at the ground.
I wonder what's down there.
There is this massive 15 by 15 foot hole in the ground blocking the pathway. Some of the people run forward, such as the turtle who I mentioned before, easily jumps right over the entire thing, lands on the other side. Oh, nice! And keeps running off. A couple of the other people are trying, the horse person literally just jumps over the entire thing. There is a centaur as well, who also leaps over the entire thing. But a number of other people have reached the edge. They look over, they look into the hole. It's not a super deep hole. One or two people just decide to hop.
How deep is it?
Let's say 10 feet deep.
Probably a
How many people are standing in front of it?
There's probably like six to eight. I'd say 6 people standing in front of it. They're like just kind of analyzing. 1 or 2 people, some of the taller people in the group, they actually just run right past. They hop into the hole. They kind of catch the edge and lower themselves in, run to the edge, the other edge, jump up, grab it, pull themselves over the side.
What would my Thunder Wave do?
Thunder Wave would probably knock people into the hole.
Yeah, we're on the edge.
That's what I would like to do.
I would like to
I
try
got
and
an
jump
idea.
the hole first,
I
since
want to
I'm
talk.
behind the
Yeah,
would
he'd be
I.
ahead of us. So
Yeah, you're definitely ahead of you.
I
Okay.
got an idea. So I was say somebody, somebody cast an illusion or something to say this way and then cover up the hole after we get through, and then we're golden.
That's
But I also want to push the people in front of us and hopefully injuring a few.
Okay. All right, so I'll get to you in just a second. Yes, so Des, you're leading the pack. What is your strength just score, period?
My strength score is what you want the modifier?
No, it's a
16.
16. Okay, so actually, just based off D&D rules, your horizontal jump is equal to your strength score.
Oh, okay, so
You rush towards it, leap over, just barely, like maybe a little bit of a foot. I mean, probably half a foot from each side is where you kind of jump from and landed on. So, sure enough, you're able to jump across, looking much like the turtle that jumped before you, and landing on the other side.
Neat.
I take inspiration from Dez and do the same.
Okay, what's your strength?
16.
6. Okay, so you're able to do the same thing. Yep.
Wait!
Other people see you guys do this. They're very impressed. They're thinking to themselves, maybe we could do it. Some of them are starting to back up, but before they can, Feather McGregor, aka Lil Sauce, you come running up towards behind all of these people who are still kind of debating how they want to handle this obstacle.
Yeah. Thunder Wave.
Thunder Wave. Boom. You cast Thunder Wave. They need to make dexterity checks, I think,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. Okay, that's 1 success.
That's just
a
a
fail.
board getting
That's a
pushed.
fail. That's a success. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's a 50-50. 3 of the people slam this wave of energy and just sort of force slams into their backs, pushing them all into, with, like I said, half of them into this hole, face down, bam, right into the ground. 3 of them, they kind of feel it coming. I don't know what it is, but they manage to hold themselves steady. They don't fall into the hole. Maybe 1 or 2 of them like, whoa, but doesn't quite fall in. Turns around, sees your group running towards them. What's left of your group, which would be Goblin, Dave's Kenku, and you, Kenku.
What
So
about him?
They jumped.
they jumped. Yeah.
You're with him.
Yeah, those 2 jumped. I had a question for the rules. When they so first off, is this hole just there? And did they put barricades on the side of the hole?
Yeah. So there's like
Okay,
fence,
what was
yeah.
the rule on the barricades?
You cannot go
over them or through them?
Or through them
Like,
or under them.
Can I climb on the side of them across this hole?
As long as you don't cross it.
Okay, that's the only way I see it cross. So Rorick's gonna just jump on the side of the barricade and just start like.
What's that?
Would this be something I could just jump over?
You could try. So what is your strength score?
+3.
No.
Well, what's like the actual number?
I don't know.
The big number.
13.
13?
Yeah.
No, you can't make it.
Yeah. So
Short
it's,
it.
you would be short by about 2 feet. So your strength score is equal to the number of feet that you would be able to horizontally jump.
So can I just hop in, climb on the people that I knocked in, and jump out?
You could also try to make an athletics check to try to jump it if you're not quite
Yeah,
there.
I'll just jump in and jump out.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna borrow this.
Well, you
Yeah, go for
don't.
it.
You don't have to. I don't think you'd have to either roll anything, but you will take a little bit of damage because I think it's
Oh.
1d6.
Well, then can I just-
1d6 per 10 feet.
Can I just crawl across like him? On
You
this-
could do what I'm
on
doing.
This side?
Yeah, you could try what he's doing.
Let's try what he's doing.
Okay.
Lead up the caboose of this train crawling across.
This slow.
Right, before I do, I cast minor illusion
Yeah.
on the sign and change it to say, "Jump in hole."
Okay, interesting choice for sure. For the three of you, or for the rest of you that are crossing based on this fencing, can you roll me an athletics check?
What about acrobatics?
I think this one's like holding on. I think this one's very explicitly athletics.
For one over the other.
It's sort of climbing in a sense.
12.
12, okay.
I'm so upset. 7.
7. Dave? No.
Well, I thought it was balancing.
The athletics.
Yeah.
16.
16.
There you
Okay,
go.
so you're Feather McGregor, Little Sauce. You're leading this.
No, he was.
Oh, you're
I
leading
was
this.
leading,
Okay, so
yeah.
you're leading. You're right next to him. He starts to slip and he's falling off. Also, just FYI, the guard. There's a guard or referee or whatever you want to call it, and he's on the other side of this fence, right? He kind of like pushes through the crowd and he sees what you guys are doing, and he just like leans in real close and just follows your fingertips as you guys are making your way across this fence to make sure that you don't cross the barrier. Because if a fingertip crosses the barrier, he's going to disqualify you. But thankfully, this is pretty thick wood,
Oh.
so there's a pretty reasonable amount of space. But anyway, you notice that your friend is slipping and starts to fall backwards. He's completely lost his grip on this fencing.
Can I reach out to save him?
You can make a strength saving throw.
8.
8.
Yeah.
All right, you let go with one hand, reach out to grab him. You have 2 options because it's not enough. You don't have enough strength to get both. You can either push him so that he holds on and fall back yourself, or you can let him fall and catch yourself and make sure that you don't fall
Can
off
I
the fence.
make a reaction?
Can I make a reaction?
I think you're already falling.
Oh.
You've made your check. Yeah, you can definitely assist in this situation. Also, strength saving throw, yeah.
Yeah!
20! Alright, so what happens is, Feather, McGregor, Little Sauce, you reach out to grab onto your friend. He's slipping, he's falling. You you grab him, but in the process, you start losing your grip, but you hold tight. You've got your friend, you're not going to let him go. But you're falling off as well, and you're trying to push him up to grab on as well. But just as you're about to give up hope, another arm reaches out and grabs yours, and it's your friend, Quill Smith. And he grabs onto your arm, and the three of you have sort of a weird, like, hanging ladder of arms and hands right now.
Monkeys in a barrel.
That's right, just like the monkeys in the barrel. And then he swings and throws both of you over to the other side, and then he shimmies the rest of his way. All of you have made it across the terrifying hole in the middle of the road.
Where was that from, Maki?
Oh, hey on. Can I do one other thing?
Okay.
Well, he changed the sign to say jump and hold,
Yes. So if you covered the hole, it would kind of
right? I was
defeat the
gonna
sign.
do fog cloud.
Oh.
People start running.
Are you doing it?
No, we'll just
Oh,
leave
okay,
it because
alright.
he said jump in the hole.
All right. Sure enough, yeah, the people that were behind you that were slipping all over the
They're not having a good time.
no, they're not having a good day. They finally reach the hole. One of them is like, okay, and he like hops into the hole. He's like, ow! The other two like watch him do this. They're totally unaffiliated with this guy, and they're just like, Why?
The sign said to.
That's so dumb. And they all start to make some form or whatever, whether that be climbing down and climbing out or some other means to try to cross this hole. But again, they are also slowed down a little bit. Especially the guy that jumped. He sounds like he might be injured, so. My leg! My leg! Oh, two. I like that we're getting a little bit. Oh, gosh, alright.
They'll be like crabs in a bucket.
That's right. Yeah. Alright. So, you guys. Another block, you're going past the building, you take a right-hand turn down kind of another narrow alleyway, not quite as narrow. You can have maybe 2 to 3 people shoulder to shoulder get through here. It doesn't seem super congested. Whatever the case, as you come out of the corner, there's some people that you are alongside the wall that like borders this entire city. And up on the top of this wall, you hear some laughter. And as you're moving forward, one of the guys in front of you, suddenly something comes flying down, splats onto his head. There's goop, looks like yellow, maybe kind of viscous goop that kind of comes out.
They found the basement.
They found the basement. No, this seems to be eggs. And also you see a couple of other handfuls of splelch. Tomatoes, rotting tomatoes that also come down. You look up and you see a group of kids up on the top of this wall, and they are hurling eggs and tomatoes down on you guys, trying to hit people as they pass by, like some group of Tuscan Raiders or something. You all, I need you to.
What was the rule on weapons?
You're not supposed to use them.
On who?
Except
But
on
a shield.
Except
On a who?
It said period. It was a overarching statement. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw as you
I'm
try
gonna
to
pull the shield off my back.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. I won't
And
make
then
you
proceed with your.
Yeah, you roll 5. Okay. You don't have to roll, Nick. You're blocking it.
A good thing.
I don't wanna roll.
Yeah. 25.
25. Okay, you easily dodge, roll. I mean, you don't even dodge and roll. Like
I'm
you
just small
see
and
as
nimble.
it's coming down. Like you're seeing where they're falling and just navigating accordingly. Like it is no problem for you.
Cool. Fantastic.
13.
Fantastic,
Okay.
Mr. Fox. You want to know how I'll get through there? Because I'm little.
Dez, you easily also managed to maneuver and dodge out of the way. No problem. There's a couple of close calls, but sure enough, you managed to exit out of this kind of section with eggs. With no tomato or egg on you. Let's see, Dave. 19. Okay, same thing goes for you. You easily dodge out. You don't even get any on your feet. That's how nimble and capable you are.
Dez and Keto are probably a little bit ahead of us, aren't they? Because they
Just a little bit, yeah.
Climbed the hole, and then we also
I mean,
had
unless
the
you
hole.
guys kind of waited a little bit for everybody to catch. No, you just kind of kept going.
I
Okay,
figured they
sounds good.
wouldn't. No need
First or
to.
worst, you know?
We all make the money together at the end of the day, right?
All right, Dez. On the other hand, what did you roll again? Or sorry, not Dez. Sorry,
5.
5. A 5. Okay. As you're running, all of a sudden, tomato. You can smell it as it comes down. And having worked with tomatoes for so long, making your sauces and such, you smell this tomato as it flies towards you. It is not a good tomato. It is a bad tomato.
Mean tomato.
It is a mean tomato, and it slams right into your face. You are blinded as this goop gets into your eyes. The acidity from the tomato starts to sting your eyes.
Gets up your nose.
Somebody help me! Somebody help me!
I hear him say that.
Help me!
I turn around and run
You
back,
see
and I
his
see his
face
face.
coated in
I'm
tomato.
reaching my hand out. I'm reaching my hand out.
I
I'm like,
grab his hand
Yes, he's
and I
guiding me.
start pulling him. I start pulling him through.
Sorry. The kids now targeting you extra. You are pelted with eggs and additional
Can I dodge
tomatoes.
for him?
You can't dodge for
fog
him.
cloud.
Oh.
Fog cloud.
Fog cloud.
Where are you
Where are you
casting,
casting it?
Above him?
Just, I guess, around me?
I mean, you can I think it's got like probably a 30-foot range.
I have to look.
I mean, there's no way those kids are throwing those like 30 feet, like, accurately.
Well, they're
Maybe
throwing straight down.
Right, that's what I'm saying, just above us.
Right.
Zigzag.
I'm just saying if you're
Serpentine.
Fog cloud is a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range.
Holy cow, the range is like 120 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to
just
cast it
on
up on the wall where the kids are?
Yeah, just cast it up on those kids.
Okay.
You can't
you
see it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you cast Fog Cloud, boom, huge, poof. It just like erupts all of a sudden right in the middle of all of them. It's like one of the eggs went off and it's just like stanky and it's got this cloud, poof. This 20-foot radius cloud of fog just erupts around these kids and they're all shouting, "Oh, jeez! Oh, I can't see! Oh, where are we throwing the eggs at? I don't know. Throw it over there. Oh, man, you called me with some egg. Ah, gross. I'm going to get you with egg." And next thing you know, they're just blindly hurling eggs and rotten tomatoes at each other now. But you are now safe. You wipe the stuff off your eyes. You're not as blinded. Your eyes still hurt, though. But for whatever the case, you have made it past the danger zone of eggs and tomatoes. The order continues. Dave, I think you would have overtaken Cameron and Quinn a little bit just while they were dealing with the egg situation. But whatever the case, that is the order. You guys come around the corner. You immediately take a straight shot down the street away from the wall that borders the city. Kind of a really nice, just like long, straightforward shot. We're talking like maybe 4 or 5 blocks that you just get to fully sprint. But you do start to hear the sound of heavy hooves coming from behind you, as you know that the Minotaur are starting to catch up to the group. You wonder if the people that used to be behind you, you know, kind of further back, especially the one that jumped down the hole foolishly, who knows? He might have exited or he might have been overtaken by the Minotaur, you're not sure, but you doubt that he's gotten past them or that he's running directly ahead of them. Whatever the case, as you guys are sprinting down this way, Jackson, you, Dez, would be the first to see this given that you're leading the pack. But a little child runs onto the track, crosses over the barrier into the pathway, and seems to be chasing what looks like a little ball that's bouncing and rolling. Goes, "Oh, my ball! My ball! He's getting away!"
You want an oar?
And again, he is on the course at the moment, and nobody seems to be stopping him.
And remember, we are allowed to kill.
Hey everyone, Skylar here. Are you a fan of Session Zero Heroes and the shows we produce, or the characters involved? Then you should check out our epic merch we have available online. From shirts to stickers and everything in between, we worked hard on creating a variety of designs and made sure to get your favorite characters on those products as well. Whether you're looking for Brock Lee on a hoodie to wear to the gym with you, or maybe Fizzlefingers tote bag to stuff your ill-gotten gains in, we've got you covered. Just head over to our website at sessionzeroheroes.com and click on our merch tab to see all the amazing products and designs that you can get. Now back to the show.
I've had a few ideas. How big do you think? Is it like a little kid, like a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Toddlerish.
just palm his head like a basketball and just toss him back over the railing.
Okay. I mean, he's a tiny kid. That was kind of more just a scenario just to see what you guys did, to be honest with you. So, I suppose I'm not disappointed. Listen.
I'm leaving his ball just in the area.
I think that kid's dead. I rolled a D4 and it was a 4. And a normal human being, like adult, has a 10 health. I don't think that kid's alive. Hey, it's better than getting trampled, I think.
And worst of all, he's disqualified.
Guy runs over. Disqualified!
You're out of here, kids on movies.
He's got one of those Family Guy poses.
Alright, well, like I said, that was just sort of a moral dilemma. I wanted to see how you handled that. Did you handle it well? I don't know if I can say.
He was just running and goes. Throws him against the wall.
Didn't even break a stride.
Just straight up step arms him. Runs up, clotheslines him back over the fence.
Did he save the kid? We'll never know.
Look at this mother. We're running by the wall. What is going on over there? You just see this ball rolling across the
It's like one of those movies movies when like something happens and they don't show the death off screen. You just see the ball roll by. You hear the
You're running by, you see the ball, you grab it, chuck the ball, and it's a dead kid.
The ball slowly rolls and hits that kid's feet.
And it rolls up to the kid.
All right. Well, that was interesting.
Anyways, what's next?
Yeah.
Got any more kids?
No, not a kid. Instead,
It's a
you run
parade.
up and you find a large brick wall that stands right in the middle of the path, blocking both sides. You hear laughter from the other side, and you hear somebody just shout out, "Try to get past that, losers!"
So who's all stuck there?
Oh, sorry.
How many people are stuck there?
Yeah,
The
there's
whole field,
actually-
or-
Yeah, so the horse, the centaur, the people that were leading the pack, they're both stuck there. Vertical jumps, not their thing. The turtle is also there. He's analyzing it and he's looking around to try to see if there's anything. Kind of like he's thinking, well, maybe I could jump off of that. No, that's not gonna work, dude. Let's see here. And he's just kind of mumbling to himself as he kind of like looks around the area. Well, this is a real tricky one right here. It is.
Is this part of the race, or did another contestant put this up?
It kind of sounds like another contestant might have put it up there, based on the laughter of, yeah, take that, losers.
This is the first one to get there.
Yes.
It sounds like they're on the other side of the wall, right?
Yeah.
So we all come. They've been at the wall, and we
No,
come
they're
around.
ahead of us.
Or they're ahead.
We just see a wall.
Des, it's
in the
about
distance.
15 feet tall.
Darn.
Gotta get a plan.
Okay,
I haven't-
you're
yeah.
right behind him, so
Can I
that's right.
Crawl it like Spider-Man?
Huh?
You can try.
We can use each other as a springboard.
Oh.
I'll toss you my
okay,
shield.
okay.
You're gonna do the whole like Captain America thing where he like holds it as a platform,
And then you launch.
I jump on it, and then I happen to have some rope.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay.
Do that karate thing where you guys both run up each other's feet.
Just imagine it. We're using our own invisible force. against each other.
I love it. Okay, so what do you actually officially do?
We can do that springboard thing
Okay.
where you
We're going to
hold
attempt
up,
that.
I'll hold up
Okay.
your shield, you jump, I'll
Ooh,
push.
the shield. Yeah. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Very Captain America.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So what I'll do is I'll have you make an athletics check, but I'll make it at advantage since he's assisting you.
Okay. But athletics,
Yes.
it's was that a 9.
A 9. Okay. So he gets ready. He gets the shield ready. He's crouched down. He's ready to push up. You rush forward. You jump onto the shield. Everything seems like it's going well. He pushes up, and as he does, your foot slips on the shield a little bit. Maybe there's like a piece of metal that kind of like holds the shield together, and your footing just happened to step on that. Maybe it was just a little slick or whatever. The eggs. The eggs. It's a slick shield because of the eggs.
Slick
You
shield.
slip ever so slightly as he pushes you up into the air, causing you to kind of just angle straight towards the wall. As you brace yourself to slam into this, instead, you go right through it
Oh, okay.
and land on the other side. As you turn, the wall still is there. Everything seems completely untouched. That's
my
when you
first
realize
thought, just to throw the kid's ball at it.
it was an illusion. And of course, seeing this, the other people on the other side start to just run straight through it. Of course, most of them still react by putting their hands up, like it's just kind of unnatural to run straight at a wall. Your brain doesn't really want you to just do that. So they throw their hands up for protection, but sure enough, they pass through the
Did
wall.
we catch up to them in this time?
I'd say, yeah, probably for the most part. I mean, they might still be like first and second, but you guys are pretty close in the line at this point.
Can I lasso the horse?
Yeah, sure, go for it. You got rope, I assume?
Oh yeah.
All right.
And a lasso to boot.
I'm gonna
I'm a cowboy.
baby.
Lasso.
I'm gonna say make a well, it would be a grapple essentially. So you're gonna make a strength contested.
Oh no, I just want to trip him. I don't care
Oh,
about.
All right. Shoot, is that ranged? Let's say it's a ranged attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
15.
15. All right. Yeah. You throw this lasso straight forward, wraps around the back legs of this horse, and sure enough, it kind of stumbles and falls. The horse actually changes out of shape as you find you have a teenage Eldrin elf now kind of tied up by the ankles. And she looks around and goes,
Oh, where's my brother? He's here. Wait a minute. He's not even here. Where the heck is my brother?
He's dead.
I would say
He's dead.
he died. He died.
He died. We watched him get trampled.
Did he really? I missed
Oh no, we don't.
No, we don't bring that up.
We're just very mean.
she says,
Jenks?
Jinx.
Jenks?
Hang on.
He's dead?
Hang on. I want to be, and then I want to take his voice and be like, call out for his. What was his sister's name?
you don't
We
know.
didn't know.
What he was yelling at? He was saying sister, or just
He just said,
I would start saying
sister, wait.
sister. And see what she says.
all right. Do a performance with advantage.
Well, wouldn't I be a mimic? Wouldn't I be able to just?
She
Yeah,
says,
he has to
you,
pass,
you abandoned
charisma
me.
check.
You abandoned me
yeah, but
to
you
my
still have to
doom.
like sell it.
I perished because
You
of
get with
you.
advantage because you are using
Advantage.
a ability.
Okay, so
So 2d20s and then
yeah, for plus what?
performance.
19
Oh, that's pretty good.
and a 4.
Okay, the 19 is definitely high enough. She goes, oh, Jenks, he's alive. Oh, Jenks. And she just starts running backwards down the track to go and find her brother.
And then, so I want to go up to the wall. Would the people who put up the wall still be laughing on the other side? Are they long
There,
gone?
he
They're
just,
long gone?
whoever it was kept running.
Okay. He got up and over.
Yes. Well,
Well, it's like
Just
illusion,
keep-
you just run
Just
through.
keep going. And I'm just gonna run right through the wall.
yeah.
Um,
I'm pulling my rope with me.
It's an illusion. It's an illusory wall. You watch
it's
him just
not-
like phase right through it.
oh,
yeah.
it's not a real wall.
No, it's not even a
Okay.
real wall. Yeah.
Right, we'll just keep on.
Keep going.
Driving.
All right, sounds good. All right, you all make it through my, as they say in the Adventure Zone, my wall puzzle.
My wall puzzle.
And I cast
Why am I
minor
wearing-
illusion to create another fake wall. About 3 feet behind the area. Just enough space to be like, whoa, another wall.
And I use my incredible masonry skills and build a real
A
wall.
real wall! Oh my gosh! We got walls all over the place. All right, as you guys running
Fool me
forward.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, ouch, that hurt.
Ouch.
See?
All right, you guys make your way forward. You continue down. It's kind of just a long stretch at this point. You can actually even see the ending of the race as you guys come around this corner. As you come around this corner,
Wait, what competition do we have left?
yeah, let's see. All right, so yes, the people you see ahead of you. There's a tall person. He seems human. He's wearing a strange hat. He's one of the few that aren't wearing a costume. But as he runs, he sort of clanks in a strange, kind of unnatural way. The turtle is in front of you. He's actually, sorry, the guy that's clanking, he's kind of roughly like with you guys to some extent. Like he hasn't gotten like ahead super far. The turtle, the centaur, and then you see an orc with like long black kind of wavy hair. It's all kind of like messy or whatever. And you notice that he's got like face paint all over him. He's got like a star over one eye and like all this kind of other stuff that's like all over him. He wears like all black. He looks very metal. He's the only one that you assume, I mean, unless the centaur might have been the person that did it, but he's the only one that you assume might have been the one to cast the spell.
How far ahead of us?
Dez did pass
Not that far,
Dez
maybe,
did
like-
pass the turtle.
Oh yeah, that's true. So Turtle's running like roughly with you guys as well.
So Dez is in 3rd.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We just need a prize money. It don't matter who finishes. We just
Hey, 3 of us finished. That's maximum winnings.
Yeah, right. We need 3.
Maki says, oh no, we're gonna lose. If only I could run a little bit faster. And he digs deep within himself.
Digging. I can do that.
And finds a magical reserve of energy
Oh.
quickly coursing through his body, and that feeling spreads out to his limbs and his arms, and they begin to pump faster.
He would be a little bit behind us.
His little bird arms
He's with us.
and legs start
He's actually leading you and...
Yeah, can I be like, take me with you and jump on his back?
He just
zips away.
Ruin the moment.
Hit the nos.
Sorry. Keep describing.
And I cast Expeditious Retreat,
Expeditious Retreat.
Oh.
which allows me to take a bonus action to dash on each of my turns.
All
In
right.
this situation,
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
just
more-
run fast.
Yeah, you just run. Yeah, there's more running. So sure enough, you feel this energy well up inside of you. You feel your legs, all of the exhaustion and the amino acids or whatever the science is, just kind of flushes. And you don't feel it anymore. You feel like you just woke up and you have all the energy in the world, and you start to move a little faster, a little faster, and a little faster. And sure enough, you start to catch up.
My arms go back.
Look at him go.
And you shout out on your left, and you shoot past the centaur, and you start to run up, and you're catching up to the orc guy who's leading the pack currently, because he was probably the one that cast the spell, as far as you assume. And you start to catch up to him, so you're making your way up to him. The rest of you guys see him kind of shoot past all of you, because you were literally like at the back of the pack. So now you're rushing up towards second. Anybody else doing anything in particular?
Question.
Yeah.
We'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. About Hail of Thorns.
Oh.
Does it need to be a bow and arrow? Could it be, because it says ranged attack or ammunition,
Okay.
could I just like either throw a rock or a lasso and cast Hail of Thorns? And now I just have like 50 lassos.
Okay.
Just grab the guy in front or
And pull him back.
Both of them?
pull him back,
Right.
make him trip.
Sure, yeah. I'd say the lasso makes probably the most amount of sense.
That's that. I think that's
Yeah.
what I'd like to do.
And
Okay.
I can grant
Isn't it
him
AoE?
tactical teamwork.
Isn't it AoE?
You have tactical
Yeah, it is.
teamwork.
Because you have two guys ahead of you.
Tell me
Oh,
what
three
tactical
technically.
teamwork does.
So
But
when a creature you can see within 30 feet makes an attack roll against another creature that is within 5 feet of you, I'm assuming
No,
at
it's
this
just a
point
ranged
it's Des
spell.
and I,
Yeah,
you
you're
can
right.
use your reaction to grant advantage on their attack roll.
Look at
All right.
that.
Okay, so tell me what you're doing to give him this advantage. Who are you aiming for? Anyone specific with this? The nearest person to you would be the centaur, if that's who you want to target with this, Des.
Yeah, I think the closest to me, the centaur falling, would probably be more beneficial.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So then I ask you, Theo.
So what is he actually doing?
Keto. So
Keto,
he's
Keto.
pulling out a whip and he's spinning it in the air, and as he does, it starts to turn green and it starts to become thorny, and it starts to kind of, you see an occasional thorn or thistle that kind of like shoots off of it as he starts to prepare this spell.
I think I'm gonna go the heckle route and just start yelling, "Hey, you pack mule, you horse's ass, you..."
Oh,
And hopefully one of these is going to get the
all right.
centaur to turn around.
I like it. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, she definitely seems appended. She turns, which distracts her from the road immediately ahead of her. And then Des, you're gonna do this attack. So you're gonna do it as a ranged weapon attack,
Sure.
essentially.
With advantage.
Yes, with advantage.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll do that. 21.
21. Holy crap. Yeah, you throw this lasso on. It catches her like over the neck. I mean, it goes like over her head, hits her shoulders. So tell me a little bit about what this thorn situation.
Well, I would assume it would bring her to the ground,
Yes.
and then she would take 1d10 of piercing damage.
Oh
but
my
that
gosh.
is about...
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Let's roll it and just kind of see
you know
where things
what?
land.
Let's make her suffer
Oh gosh.
a little bit. Yeah, make her suffer. 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. So you fling this lasso over. It catches her right around the shoulders. It pulls her arms in. She loses balance as you give it a nice tug as you're running, and she goes flying kind of backwards, sideways a little bit. Hits the ground. Obviously, her shoulder goes into some of these thorns that were part of this whole whip situation in the first place. She screams out, "Ah!" That was a weird scream. And then as you guys rush past her, she goes, "It's not fair! I'm so close!" I don't know what you do with the whip
So-
afterwards or the
So at least
lasso.
2 of us are in the top 3.
How close
right?
are they? How close are they to the finish line?
Oh, yes. There is probably 1, 2, 3, So that'll be about probably about 90 feet left.
So
How far is the orc from us?
Probably
From me and Feather.
from you guys, probably about 20 feet.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna say to Feather, I'm gonna say, well, I'm not gonna win this race, so I'm gonna make sure we can get the top 3, and I'm just gonna, Rourke's just gonna stop, pull out a short bow, and just start shooting at the orc.
I guess that makes sense. Okay, roll an attack roll then.
18.
All right. You pull
Is
out
he
your
surprised? Because if so, I get my sneak
That's
attack
true.
damp.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely surprised. The interesting thing about it is he's surprised because I believe with sneak attack, if like an ally is within 5 feet,
Oh yeah, I get
you, Dave, you're running up
right
right
next to him,
alongside
yeah,
of him,
so I get
you're
sneak
within
attack.
5 feet.
That is 12 damage.
You just dive.
You pull out your bow.
Headshot.
As you're pulling back the arrow,
I was
and you
aiming.
release.
Mind you, it was a not. I was aiming for hit. So if you could take the damage to be more accurate, then I was aiming for his leg, just to trip him.
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
I didn't want to
absolutely.
kill.
No, that's fair.
I just wanted to go.
Destroys his cat.
yeah, that was my
Never
whole
the
goal,
same.
just-
non-lethal.
Yeah, it was
essentially.
one
Takes an
non-lethal
arrow to the
shot.
knee.
So
Yeah.
as you're firing, as you release this arrow, you see a yellow, like, tufted ball come flying out, and it hits you in the face just as you release the arrow, and you can hear in the distance.
Did I fire?
But the arrow, it's already been released, and it flies forward and slams into this guy's leg, and he goes, Dave, you're running right next to him, and you just hear, and you just see him, like you're running right next to him. It's like a really intense race right now, and then all of a sudden he just boom, face slams, and you just see him fall behind you. All right, as you look backwards, see your friend holding the bow. There's already a guard that's
Yeah, I'm gonna
off the
start
fence.
running
He's,
to
like,
the opposite.
grabbing-
I'm gonna run to the opposite
chases
fence
you to the other
and
side of the
jump over
fence.
the barricade and just start taking off
Taking off.
for the distance.
And he's like, get back there, you rubber. All right, so you've been disqualified, but you've also given your allies a chance at possibly winning.
So
Let's
it's
see.
1, 2,
I was gonna say,
3,
so
4.
Well, you're
it's
neck and neck with
Dez.
I probably
No, it's-
overtook him since he was holding the centaur.
It's
Yeah, it would
Oh,
be
actually, yeah, I was gonna say, sorry, yeah, Dave,
Maki,
Yep,
Maki,
and then Theo.
Theo
and Dez.
/ Keto,
Dez,
and then Dez. Yep.
And then
So
the
those are the top
Turtle,
three.
and then
Yep.
Feather. That's
How
the
far
order
is
right
the
now.
turtle
Yep.
going?
You're like right next to
Turtle's
him.
like right alongside you,
Alright,
basically.
you both got
He's
one.
like slightly faster.
dude. Nice job, man. You
And they finish though? They finish?
Not yet. No.
Oh,
They're
and he,
nearing the end.
You could just take out the turtle.
I'm
He's,
just gonna take
he's
out the turtle.
What is
literally
that?
the last threat left.
Shut up! Slap to the face.
so we're running right around. Can I just like turn around cool?
Just roll a punch at him. Nothing's stopping you. Yep, roll it. It's an unarmed attack. It'll be using your. Actually, it might be labeled on there, unarmed attack or unarmed strike. Wherever your weapons are and your attacks are listed.
I like how our party
No? Okay.
was big enough that we could make sure we get top 3
So
and
it'll
then
be
just
plus
play
2,
defense
and
with
then
the
plus
other
whatever
people.
your strength modifier is.
So what's that?
What's your strength modifier? The plus whatever on your
My
strength.
whole goal was never to win
Right at
this
the top.
race.
Plus
It was
3,
literally
plus
just
3,
to
so it'll be a
support you
plus
guys to
5
win
to-
for me
to
because
your
I know
roll.
Do I
I'm
get
the,
a surprise
I know
attack
I'm
so
the
I get
slowest
advantage?
member of the group.
No, I wouldn't say there's a surprise attack, but
18.
18. Okay, yeah.
Plus
I'm not trying to
strength.
kill him.
Oh, plus strength, so 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you. He's like, oh, nice, dude. Nice race. You know, congratulations on.
Does he fall
All right,
over?
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a dexterity saving throw for him. Oh yeah, he falls. Just completely unexpected. You punch him. Oh, not cool, dude. Falls backwards. He's on his shell. He's like, oh no, not the shell. And he's just like wiggling around trying to get himself off because he's landed backwards on his shell and he's kind of just stuck there like turtles are.
I feel bad, but I just keep going.
Okay, all right, sounds good. You keep running. As you guys are all making it towards the finish line, you can see it in the distance. You're almost there. You look behind you. You see the few remaining members. The guy with the golden priest robes. He's ways back behind you, but he's still up and running. You see the air genasi. He's also kind of like pretty close by. He's probably just slightly ahead of the clerical individual.
The only guy that's left that was kind of close was that
The
metal
clunky guy.
robotic
Yes.
clunky.
So
dude.
the clunky guy is just behind you. The other ones are, far enough back. And also just behind them, you can see 3 of the Minotaur are chasing right after him. So the Minotaur are just behind them, coming up on their rears. The clunky guy, who's probably the only last competition per se left, you hear suddenly something, because he's kind of close to you, Feather. You hear something inside him start to whir, and it starts to whir faster and faster. And you see steam come shooting out of his nostrils, and he goes, and his footsteps start to get heavier as he starts to suddenly get a little bit faster and starts making up ground. As you guys are all making it towards the finish line, you see a massive barrel, fall from one of the rooftops,
Of course.
slam into the ground, the last obstacle of the race, as a bunch of banana peels go scattering everywhere. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm really good at these.
Can I utilize my pack tactics?
Nat 20.
Oh man.
I might win this race, boys.
16.
16, alright, that makes it.
What would I've got?
Can I utilize pack tactics?
Tell me how. Tell me.
Good thing I ditched this race.
Oh, okay.
Another nat 20. Oh, that's 2. These bananas don't stand a chance.
13. That's actually. Oh, that's just shy. Okay.
His lead.
You leading the pack see these at the last second. I mean, the other ones are slightly behind you. They don't see it quite in time. This thing slams down. One of the bananas flies out. You
Like
step
Icarus.
on it, and you start to slide, and you can feel yourself starting to fall. The other 2 of you come running and shoot past him as if those banana peels aren't even there. Feather, you're coming up behind.
No, he's behind.
You see the bananas. You're not too worried about it, but you do see your friend starting to
Reach down and
fall.
grab him?
Yes. Do a. I'll do another strength saving throw since you're catching him.
16.
16? Okay, yeah, he catches you, keeps you from falling and falling prone. The 2 of you are still on your feet. I'm going to let you guys decide how you want it, because you guys are basically technically competing for 3rd place at the moment. So I'll let you guys decide that. But really
He
quick.
wins.
What's that?
He wins.
Well, really quick, before you do that, the big clunky guy, heavy footsteps, you can tell that his feet are digging into the ground and pushing back, which is allowing him that extra amount of speed. But with that over amount of commitment does not go well with slippery bananas. And he steps on a particularly slippery spot, and entire body goes flying up in the air like some kind of ridiculous moment of somebody slipping on the ice. His shoes go off. He flies backwards, his hat shooting off. He has a completely bald head, and you can see the sun hitting it and reflecting off of it. It's incredibly shiny. It probably is blinding the people immediately behind him, but he crashes down, causing the whole ground underneath you to shake a little bit. You see banana peels in an entire 5-foot radius around this man. He's so heavy when he hits the ground, they all fly up into the air and then fall back down. You 2, you're both on your feet. You've caught each other. You've helped each other. You're racing towards Dez. You cross the finish line. Yes. 1st place.
I think I was first.
Oh, you were first?
You were
Doesn't matter.
first.
Okay. Keto, 1st place.
Keto
Dez,
first.
2nd place. Yes. You 2.
Well, you get a special.
There's still a good 15 to 20 feet between you and the next participants, and then the Minotaurs directly behind them. You start racing towards the finish line, but you're basically neck and neck.
I just let it go.
Scissors.
Okay.
Go and push him across the line. Not push him, but just kind of
You slow down.
we're just running. I just kind of make
just
sure he
push
gets
him
across the
first.
line.
All right.
You
sounds
lightning
good.
McQueen shove him as he's injured.
It's Bumdraft him.
Awesome. All right. In a show of friendship, you push your friend Quill Smith across the finish line, giving him 3rd place. You coming in 4th. After
You get a medal.
As you guys are all crossing the finish line for this race, there are referees that immediately call you over to the side. They look very urgent. Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
All right.
All right, so you go off to the sides. As you do, they do this to everybody who comes through. So, you know, the clerical guy and the air genasi, eventually the robot dude, he picks himself up, but he might have already been overtaken by the Minotaurs. Whatever the case, the 3 Minotaurs, they come running through and they just kind of charge straight. They just go straight. So obviously you guys are out to the side. They run straight. They slam into a wall that has a big cage that comes down and blocks them from getting out.
I'm called air genasi because I'm just looking at that.
Genasi, I believe. Awesome. All right, you guys have completed the running of the Minotaur.
Sure.
There are a bunch of people on the outside. They're all cheering. They're all, you know, screaming, excited or whatever. As you guys are kind of like, they kind of just like tell you guys to wait for a little bit. As you guys are waiting, there's a few other participants that come by. You see the Centaur and you see the Eladrin, and she's got her brother with her at this point. Everybody that comes in after this point is looking kind of rough. And then every once in a while, a Minotaur will come rushing through, and they kind of like, because they're like single Minotaurs and they're kind of like just chasing after a specific person, the guards kind of have to like run over. They throw nets, they use prods or whatever to get them into the cage with the rest of them. Whatever the case, eventually all 6 Minotaur, which were to be released, are all captured, and all of the remaining participants, you know, who didn't just leave or whatever the case, come across the finish line. Anyone that was behind looks pretty rough for sure, but you guys are all fine. You guys made it through. As you guys are called over for the big ceremony, they have kind of one of those like Olympic style with the steps. So, you know, first, second, third. Keto, you are put on the first place block. Dez, you're put on the second place block. And Maki, yep, you're put on the third place block. They award each of you. So here are your prizes. First place, which goes to Keto. You get 5,000 gold pieces.
Wow.
And the helm of the Minotaur.
Interesting.
It is a rare magical item. It's a helmet. It's got big old horns that come out of it. It's got kind of a slit because it kind of like comes over your eyes. It's got a little slit that shows out. Essentially, it gives you a +1 to AC while you're wearing it. And additionally, you get the ability to do a headbutt charge.
Wow.
Basically, if you move at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and you hit it with an unarmed strike, you can use your helmet. It gives you kind of a bonus to some things.
Perfect for melee.
Yeah, actually it is.
Very good.
In second place, Dez, you're given a sack with 3,000 gold pieces. And they also, they kind of look at you because you're kind of small for a second there, and they're like, I don't know, you got this? And they pull out this giant double-sided great axe.
Yeah!
And it is the great axe of the Minotaur. It's a 2-handed weapon. It's uncommon as far as weapons go. It deals 2d10 slashing damage on a hit. But, and here's the awkward part, only large creatures or larger can wield it.
Darn.
And it gives you an extension reach of 5 feet. So, you know, whatever you decide to do with it
It can be
afterwards.
sold.
use
It
it.
can be
Are
sold.
any of us large creatures?
I don't think any of
I
us are
don't
large
know.
creatures.
It can be
I mean,
sold.
Kenku are average,
Right.
but they're
There
not
might be the
Kobold.
possibility that there's a feat that might let you hold on to larger weapons. So they also tell you, they say, by the way, the command word for it is Megator. Oh, that's why. Okay, real quick. So it actually shrinks. It's a normal great axe. And then when they tell you the command word, I don't know if you want to try it, but when you try it and you say Megatar, the thing like extends an extra 5 feet and becomes
Okay.
longer and bigger. That's when you can only do the
Gotcha.
extended reach. But otherwise, and that's when it does the 2d10.
So, in theory,
Yes.
if I like threw it
Right.
and said Megator,
That's a good idea.
and then
it's
I might just hold on to it then.
Okay, but otherwise you can still wield it as just the regular form.
Yeah.
It'll just do the
So it's
regular, which I
just
think
a
is probably
normal
like
great axe?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
1d12?
Until I
Is it,
yell
I think it's
the name.
1d10. Is it 12?
You said
Maybe
2d10 for a great axe.
2d10 if you have it extended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the full
1d10 if not.
version.
You
Yeah.
like chuck it to an enemy, they catch it and you say the word and it just goes bang.
Oh gosh, too heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's in its
That's
full
another good
form.
way of using it.
And then you just frisbee it and you go
Ah.
Megator and it cuts the guy in half. You know,
That would be dope.
that'd be rad.
All right, perfect. And then Maki, in third place, you're given a sack with 1,000 gold pieces inside of it, and you're giving a small vial with a brown liquid inside. And on it, there's a little sticker of what looks like kind of a bull's head. And they tell you, they say, make sure you use this responsibly. We are in no way responsible for any ways that you might use this potion in the future. But just so you know, it's a potion of Minotaur strength. If you drink it, it's going to give you a +3. Well, they don't say +3. But basically, if you drink it, it'll give you a +3 to all strength-based rolls and strength saving throws for an hour.
So I shouldn't drink it. All right.
Not at the moment, but at some point in the
Thankfully, he
future.
didn't win it because he just be like,
I'm quite thirsty.
Thanks. He drinks it.
Well, thank you.
Walks out.
I was quite parched.
Walks off, like shoulder checks a wall, and it just shatters. Feather, you are given a bronze medal to commemorate your participation in successful crossing of the finish line.
I have a question.
Yes.
From our elevated pedestal, where do we see our good friend Fizzlefingers? Is he in the crowd?
Do a perception check.
I can answer it for
I was gonna say, I don't know. Well,
19.
19. Okay. Are
Nope.
You, oh, okay. Well, you very
there.
well can tell that he is not in the crowd.
Okay.
You're not sure where he's at. As the ceremonies are kind of coming to
Probably prison.
running around naked with the guard chasing me.
always one!
He seems a little happy about it.
As you guys are finishing the sort of award ceremony section, there's a big stage, and the orc guy that you shot with a bow and arrow, he comes limping in. Somebody pulls the arrow out of his leg, and then they hand him a potion. It looks like some kind of like goth sort of punk chick. She hands him a potion. You see the injury on his leg heal up. He looks over to your group. He gives you the middle finger. And then he walks up to the stage, and he and the chick and a group of other people all start taking up instruments, and they all start playing music. They are the band for this like kind of closing afterward ceremony. And as he steps up there, there's another guy that actually is kind of like the forerunner for this band. He's the lead singer. He is an Aasimar. I believe that's right.
Excuse me?
That's kind of rude.
ASMR. It's ASMR. He is an ASMR. No, he is an ASMR. He's sort of like a dark angel-esque kind of a character. He's got these black wings that come out of his back. He has kind of this very deep tan skin. And he says,
What's up, everybody? This is Iron Forged, and we're here to play for you guys. If you enjoy our music, make sure to support us. Come to our concerts. We'll be playing at the Battle Wagons race. We'll be in the Battle Wagons race on our mobile stage, Heavy Metal. But for now, enjoy our music.
starts playing this kind of like hard rock, heavy metal kind of a type of music. Is there anything else you guys are wanting to do before you leave the area? I don't know, whatever you're going to go off to next. I won't get into that, but is there anything you'd like to do before that?
We need a place to like store all of our money, so I think we should just head back to the house.
It's usually
Yeah,
what
we
banks are
should
for.
just go back and store it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Can we take count of all the gold that we got then?
So it'd be should be 10,000 total, I think, right?
No,
Or did I say
9,000.
3? So 9,000. Okay, yeah.
Plus what we already have.
All right, perfect. So you guys take your winnings. You head out. You wave a goodbye to Rusty and his buddy Grizzletooth. Maybe you'll see them at the Rock
Did the
Bottoms.
turtle,
Maybe
did the
not.
turtle live?
Oh yeah, he was fine. You just punched him.
Wow.
It was pretty minimal, but he looks like somebody that took a hit before. He kind of like gives you a nod, but he also just doesn't look super happy about it. But whatever the case,
You think they understand?
you've definitely made a couple of friends during this race, probably a lot more enemies. Additionally, we leave things with that note that Feather McGregor had received from the captain of the sort of secret-y police group that he is a part of, about wanting to see him immediately, so we'll have to come back to that.
And can I say one thing about that?
Sure.
No, can I pull it out
Yeah.
and be like, guys, I got this note. This is from my former, I want to say former captain. You guys up for a little fun?
Yeah,
There money involved.
Des
I'm sure he has some money. All right, let's go pay my buddy a visit.
Yeah, the race ended, but they didn't say we had to stop killing people.
And with that, we'll close out this episode of Criminals of Isla Numus. Thank you so much for listening to Criminals of Isla Numus, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in a homebrew world created by me, Skylar Gorsuch. If you've been enjoying our show so far, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever it is that you're streaming from, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else that podcasts can be streamed. Or just check us out on our website, sessionzeroheroes.com. Additionally, if you enjoy Coin, you might enjoy some of Session Zero Heroes' other shows, such as our Benders and Brews and Avatar Legends Actual Play, where we jump into the world of Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra using the Avatar Legends system created by Magpie Games. Or one of our various one-shots, which we are currently coming out with, where we use a variety of games and TTRPG systems to tell a variety of fun, exciting, emotional, and hilarious stories within our group. We have all sorts of other content that we highly recommend checking out within the SZH channel, and more to come in the future. To find out more about what we do at Session Zero Heroes, and to keep up with a lot of the other content we produce and be made aware of future projects, shows, and content, be sure to follow us on social media on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Discord. These are all great ways to get in contact with our team, as well as to keep up to date with everything that we're creating and working on. We'd love to see you there. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.